Hello, fellow guitar player. Andreas here. If you're like me, you're always looking to get better and improve your skills on the guitar. So I want to show you a couple of the things that I use and how I use them to achieve that every day. And the first one, of course, is the good old metronome. I like a metronome with a big dial like this because in the practice approach that I use and I teach all my students from my book, The Principles of Correct Practice for Guitar, in the practice approach we learn from that, we use the metronome to systematically raise the speed of the exercise or scale that we're doing bit by bit, okay, and making sure that it's exactly right at every speed. So, for instance, if I'm practicing a scale, I'm going to have the metronome placed, and I'm going to place it in front of me so that I can reach out with one hand and change its speed with just one hand on that dial. So I'm going to have that metronome placed right here where I can reach with my left hand. Okay, I have students when I am teaching them, and every time they change the metronome speed, they have it placed where they have to put the pick down, use both hands, pick the metronome up, change the speed. You really don't want to do that because it's all about repetitions per moment, okay, when you're doing exercise drills. So for instance, say I'm doing a scale. I want to then raise the speed up. Maybe I'll go from 60 to 80. And maybe I go to 100. Now, when we get into the faster speeds, that brings into play another tool that I use and that I have all students use, and that is something that will record that repetition and slow the speed down. Now, the best tool I've found for doing that is an old-fashioned cassette player because it has a half-speed switch right on the front. I leave it going when I'm practicing, and so I do a repetition. And then I can, with one hand, reach out, and I can hear that repetition back at half speed and make sure that every note is perfect. Because if every note isn't perfect, I'm wasting my time. When I hear two notes that are out of place, then I know which fingers to trace it to, and I can fix that. Guitar students waste an incredible amount of time practicing exercises and not knowing whether their rhythm is really accurate or not. And I can tell you that all guitar students who are just getting their fingers together, when they hit a speed of about 60 and 16th notes, they don't really know whether they're accurate or not. Now it's the same thing for my classical practice. If I'm practicing a scale, I'll have the metronome going. And then I'll reach out one hand. Oh, okay, well there's a mistake I often make. I recorded it at half speed. Don't do that. You want to record it at full speed and then bring it down half. And then I reach out with one hand and I listen back. And so I know that I was accurate. The faster speed I practice at, the more that becomes necessary. So those are the two tools that I use. And if anybody knows of a piece of software that I could use as easily as I can use this recorder right here, please let me know. By the way, this recorder is a Sony TCM 20DV. I couldn't believe they still make these things, and they still make cassette tapes, but it's the most convenient thing I found. By the way, I don't even know if they still make them. Every time I wear one out, I have to go on eBay and find somebody selling one for some ridiculous price. So if there was a piece of software I could put on my phone and I could hit a button and do that and then hit a button and play it back half speed, that would be wonderful. If you know of one, let me know, but these two things are the best I can do right now. So I hope this helps you out in your practice and helps you get better results from the time you spend practicing guitar.